Okay. Yeah. So, hey, we did it with Symphonia, might as well do it with Abyss, right? Right? Exactly. This is part 2 of 3 of my 50 subscriber thank you special Rama. My special guest is Rob.
Again!
Because
your YouTube videos still in your co-host.
Yes, because he's been like every single one of my videos, even the ones where it's not a dual review, all E5.
That is so true. I'm not even gonna lie.
We didn't even know he was gonna be in that video. We just heard him. Anyways, now on to review number 2, which is of 2, and then the comparison part 3. Today is going to be, it's the same day, Abyss. Tales of, I should say. I suppose we start the same way we did with story.
The story in Abyss is actually really, really interesting and good. There's a lot of character development. You will hate Luke at first, probably, but you'll grow to love him because he's badass. And yeah, and you can fangasm at tier.
Let me explain something. You won't hate Luke. You'll despise the living hell out of Luke for the first half of the game.
I didn't mind it as much as Brandon.
No, let me tell you my experience with Luke. This is my experience with Luke for the first half of the game every time he talked.
That's Brandon hitting his head on the door.
That's me banging my head on the door. I can't stand him for the first half. Every other character, this may sound like a really bad con, which it is, but he is so annoying in the first half, but he is so good later on. Someone just sent me a YouTube link. A Justin TV link. I wonder. No, but it's literally, he is so annoying for the first half, but he gets so much better later on. It's funny. For me, you hate him when the characters like him. When they hate him, you like him. It's one of those really funny moments. Besides that, every character is okay. Again, they have the Annis character, which is like Regal and Symphonia. No one really cares about him.
Yeah, nobody really does. She has some of Perseia's moveset, but she is about as interesting as Regal, which means you don't even know she's in your party because she's better. Better than Regal. Regal's like, oh shit.
Yeah, and if you notice, if you notice, there's a lot of movesets from Symphonia to Abyss, as should be. If you played Abyss beforehand, like I did, you won't really notice, but it has that really odd familiarity. And also, included in this game, we're going to go into gameplay really quickly. By the way, the villains are a lot better in this one. I like the God Generals a lot more than I like the Cardinals.
Yes, I do too. Wait, are we talking about characters yet?
No, we'll get into that in a second. But just going into gameplay really quickly, or going into it now, new to this game is there was an over limit in Symphonia, but you can now trigger it manually when you've done enough damage and taken enough.
Yeah, I think in Symphonia they literally don't tell you it's over limit.
They say it's over limit, and then you have a black aura around you.
Yeah, it triggers randomly.
I think it triggers when you get But in this one, you can now trigger it manually, and when you get, of course, it's via AD skills. It's AD skills on moves you've learned at a certain level. Well, you could do some special move like an over limit, and when you do an over limit, you can then use a new thing, which is a mystic ult, which can be used after doing a special attack and holding X.
Yeah, and the really interesting thing about the battle system is that there is a field of phonons on the floor, which is FOF. You'll see that in videos a lot. Basically, it's when you use an attack, a certain element is on the floor. When you power it up enough, you can use your regular attacks and make new attacks out of them. Like, I don't even think this is in Abyss, I can't remember, but let's just say that it was, I believe if the floor was wind, it turns into Lightning Tiger Blade.
Now,
if you use
a good example would be if you use light spill cannon and you have been revived, the field of phonon will be light, and you could then use a light blast attack, which will do more damage.
Yes, which is awesome, actually.
And
you can do little things like that, and even combo them with your Mystic Arts. And the comboing system in Abyss is orgasmic. It's way better than... See, Symphonias were simplistic but addicting. In Abysses, you can get more in depth, and there's like so much more you can do. And then with the Field of Phonons added, you can like completely change your move setup just by using that. And then combo that with like 3 different Mystic Arts that you can get later. And it's just, wow.
yes.
Overkill? Much? Yes. Very much.
But
so.
all in all, the combat is a lot better in this game. You can do, as he says, a ton more moves. And
so you can 3D roam.
yes, and you can 3D roam to be able to get behind enemies and do stuff. The one problem I will have with the AD skills, which I mentioned, which can use Overlimit, a lot of the moves you could do in Symphonia right off the get-go, like being able to throw items to each other, you cannot do until you get a certain AD skill. So say someone gets killed or you need to use a health potion, Living Gel on them, it won't
You can only use it on yourself.
Yeah, you have to wait till you get the item throw skill.
I even think you can, when you're a Guardian and you press back in Symphonia, you jump back. I don't even think you can do that in Abyss until you get a certain add skill.
Yeah. Going on, since we talked about characters, gameplay, going on to characters, villains, and the like.
Villains in this game are a lot better.
Yes.
In my opinion.
You will actually feel somewhat for a couple of them. I'm looking at Sync when I say this.
Legretta was pretty badass.
Legretta was pretty kick-ass. You actually, like, these are cool characters. In Symphonia, you're more like, oh, it's them.
Yeah, when you see Magnus, you're like, oh my god, can I just please fight him and shut him
when you see
up? His voice actor sucks.
Yeah, but when you see Sync, Legretta, I can't remember any of the other ones' names. Largo, Arietta.
Oh, that's a spoiler.
Whatever. But, you actually like these characters, and when you fight them, you actually kind of like, oh, I'm not going to just fight this guy once. It actually will happen a couple times. Well, in Symphonia, it's just like, oh, by the way, I'm the bad guy. This is like, okay, now I'm done. Going into from villains. By the way, I like the final fight a lot more in Abyss because they do a special thing that just makes it a lot epical. I won't mention it.
Yeah, they have cutscenes in battle. It's just epic. Wow.
Going into actual characters like the heroes, though. Like I said, once you see Luke, the very beginning, he's the prince stereotype, he's so annoying, but it gets to a certain, let's just say devastating point later on, storyline wise, well, he becomes very, let's just say once he wakes up. Play on words right there, Robin, know what I mean?
Yes.
Yes. But he's a lot better once he wakes up. Teal's awesome. She's Divine. Guy is funny. Guy is Johnny and Boss. So awesome.
Obviously.
Power Rangers was Gale. Jade is the smartass, which he has some scenes where he's funny, but at the same time he has scenes where it's like ha ha ha. Anis, I don't care about. I think I pronounced her name wrong to this day still. But we're running out of time, so quickly, music.
Music in that game, the battle music is really good, especially the final fight music, but as far as town music and stuff, it's kind of forgettable to me.
You want to know about music? Let me just explain this. That's it. That's the hype.
That's battle music, though.
Well, that's the awesome battle music. That's probably the best battle
music.
Your
point is void!
Well, if you want to talk about battle music, you can talk all you want. But no, if you want to give a final score, what would you give? Actually, no. Before we go into this, I want to say hold on. No, continue. Final score.
I'd say the final score is, I don't know. I want to say a 10, but I gave Symphonia a 10, but I'm just gonna say 9.9. I mean 99.99.
That final round is percent. Okay.
Yes. The reason I give it that is because I don't like anise. Okay.
I will give it a 9.5 on the first playthrough, 10 on the second play. 9.8 on the second playthrough. Quickly, one problem I had was the world map, which gets really frustratingly complicated to me for some reason, and it has a couple character fallbacks. But 9.8 is my final score. Bob gives it a 9.8 or 99.99 repeating. Anyways, we will see you for the comparison review and see which one we like more next time for part 3. Bye.